Welcome to the Game Hall. I'm Rob, and join me today as we unbox Vantage by Stonemaier Games. Another box, another game, and accessories. So a lot of you are probably, if you've clicked this, already familiar with Stonemaier Games. They do fantastic games like Viticulture, Wingspan, Expeditions, Scythe. This is Jamey's, I think, baby, so to speak. I know I've watched a couple of his vlogs and on. He's talked about working on this game. I think it's like the last 8 years. I'll be honest, when I first heard that it was a cooperative, I don't want to say choose your own adventure, but it was like an exploration game. I wasn't super, I think I thought it was more of a campaign game. And though I will play campaigns, I don't gravitate towards campaigns. So I waited for others to get this. And then immediately, once watching playthroughs and all, I was like, this looks like a lot of fun. I loved the artwork and all. So we won't belabor this one today. This one will be pretty quick, but I ordered this directly from Stonemaier. I'm part of their championship program. So whatever prices, they were discounted. I think it was like 20% off. It's a fantastic deal. And just the quality of their games in general always just exceed what I would think would be an acceptable level. So figured we'll go right in. Oh, and fast shipping too. I think I got this within a week of ordering it, while other stores weren't even getting it yet. So first thing we have are the dual layered cardboard player mats. This game's primarily a card game. Here are the upgraded wood skill tokens. The game itself, which, whew, it's heavy. And the last thing in here, the metal coins. All right, again, Vantage, numbered copy, 28,478 out of 50,000, so a little over half. So again, I think it's Stonemaier Games. That's what I hear a lot of people say. If it's Stonemaier, again, is it Stegmaier or Stegmaier? Jamey, fantastic designer, fantastic publisher. This game says 120 to 180 minutes. Fantastic thing otherwise is that it's 1 to 6 players. A lot of games that I have, they either stop at 4 or 5 players. So this seems like a fantastic introduce a couple people to mechanics types games. 14 and up for age. Again, this is a heavy box. Back of the box lists components. There are 415 large cards, 916 standard cards, and booklets for each skill set. I'm not going to go into the teach as usual on these unboxings, but that's pretty cool. So let's open her up. As far as delivery, like I said, usually get a little, sometimes it's like, was it the delivery or was it during shipping to the, the warehouse or whatever? These corners sometimes get beat up, but otherwise, good condition. They're really great when I buy directly from them. Like I said, quick, efficient, and never anything severely damaged. Not like Amazon or even eBay sometimes when something says it's new. I love that cover though. It's one of those things, again, when it first was coming out, I was like, this isn't pulling me in. And then I think it's just you create a bias, and then when you start to really enjoy the theme and all, the art this just looks great. All right. So first things first, this is your mission board. Again, cooperative game. So there's going to be a mission or a destiny goal. These things are going to have the usual like heart or brain. I don't think it's the same things as, I think it's like morale, health, and time. But they're going to be listed on here. And then the whole challenge of the game is either to lose or to gain them and to do certain things on your mission. And it's a dice related game. I'm not going to punch these completely out because we can open real quick the token upgrades. But if you did not get the token upgrade packs, the usual thickness, probably maybe like 4 millimeter. Punch out super easy. Doesn't look like the art's going to rip unless you have a defect, which these clearly do not. And I think these are the money. But again, we'll go through the metal tokens. If a game offers upgrades, you know me by now, I definitely am going to jump on the upgrades if possible. Then looking back in the box, so These look like the general setup and rules. Pretty standard. So the books are smaller than I thought watching the other people's videos, but there are a lot of them. So each one, I think, goes towards a certain skill set. So it says move, just so you can see. I don't want to spoil anything. These are like a choose your own adventure. There's certain numbers that refer to where you're supposed to go to find out what happens based on your decisions. Move, look, help. This is a book of secrets, so do not look inside unless instructed. So a little bit of mystery there. Here is another spiral notebook. So it looks like some maps. So again, not gonna spoil anything. This reminds me of, even though it's Red Raven, not Stonemaier, is like Sleeping Gods. So then we got Engage. I like the colors too, and it's got that Fallout vibe too. Again, you're astronauts that crash to an alien world. You're all scattered into different portions, and you have to find, I guess, whatever your mission is from the vantage points that you have. Take, depart, overpower. It still feels like it takes place in that Scythe Expeditions universe too, but that's probably because of the iconography from the publisher. So it does come with these. You did not need to get upgraded components because it already came with wooden components. We have some silver little block cubes, a little wood. Nice paint though. They feel like, you know, they're light, but they're eye-catching with the paint job on them. And then we have, these are very standard to, I guess, other Stonemaier games like Expeditions and all. So you have heart tokens, wood-colored time tokens, and then I think this represents morale, the stars. Then we have, okay, we won't open this, spoiler pack. So it contains more secret cards. I don't want to open these unless we go through. Again, this is not a campaign game, which that was the big draw to me too, is because even though it is an exploration and a cooperative and it's card-based and you're advancing, you don't have to save everything where you're at, like Sleeping Gods or some of the Scythe campaigns. You can kind of just, some missions can, I've heard that some missions can be long and some can be short, and that's just fine by me. These are, I think these are bases, because when you're playing, you're gonna look at art cards, and I'll show you once I unpack it, but I think this is just to help you, because you're supposed to keep it secret from your fellow players. These are the large cards that is set on the back of the box. I think most of these are probably, I don't know, I think destination cards, like where your vantage, what you're actually seeing. So I'll grab one here at random and we'll look. This one's pretty cool looking. I want to keep, the big thing is you want to keep everything in order too, because you're going to have to search for things. So this, and there's card boxes and all in here, which is great. 735. This one, it says, the shade of a nearby rock protects you from the sun, but you can feel intense emanating heat from the glass encased sentient. So there is a glass encased sentient. And then you'll have your actions, then you'll have your north, south, west, east directions, which will tell you which way to go if you're going that way. One of the things, like I said, I'm not going to touch too big on this, but what was cool about this is there are key things in the artwork that can help your decisions or help where you're going to go next. Let's say they're, for example, not in this, but if there was a mountain in the background, you could say, well, I want to go north, and the next card that you search and pull will probably bring you closer to the mountain. So it really does create this choose your own adventure world, but where it gives a visual component to it. And I really thought that was interesting. So there are a lot of those cards. I think that makes for a lot of diverse, different game play, not a lot of fatigue, at least depending on those criteria. But there are, at least, look at all this, wow. So I think what I'm gonna have to do, obviously, is I'm gonna have to go through and arrange these and make sure that they are in the right order, which makes it easier for when you're actually playing the game. Because here we have 437. So they're either, some of these cards may be mixed too, because there's 435 and then goes 437. So if you're looking at this too and you're like, huh, 351 and then 3. It looks like it's every 2. Is that because, oh wait, am I figuring things out in live time? Yes, that's because the back has a whole nother piece of artwork. So the amount of cards you see here, there are actually double the amount of locations or art. That is massive, considering there were, what did they say, like 900 and some cards? Let's see, components. There are 415 large cards. So that means there's 830 individual large illustration action choice cards. So that's pretty nuts. And then, let's see, so we have these and these. And then on top of that, in each one of these are your dice. So we have these black dice. And I think these will dictate what things cost. Again, not going through the gameplay, but this is, I think this is blank. You want this. This means no penalty, no additional cost when you roll things like this. Oh, my dog's down here. Come on, Bucky, go, go. And then morale, and then health, and time. So those are the big things. And then I think setbacks. I'm not sure what they will entail. It doesn't sound good. A setback doesn't sound enticing, but yep, those dice are pretty cool. A little smaller than usual, but they feel pretty good. And there are a lot of them. So there are, I guess, opportunities where you may have to roll a lot of dice in that regard. These other ones, looks like they're empty, except for this one. So these are bigger dice. These look like, these are correlated to the skill types. So as you can see, as an example, right there with the red, that is the Overpower storybook. So maybe these tell you how much skill points you have, or you have to roll to see if there's any additional skill that you get. They feel good. They feel really good. So let's see what we get. And we get the yellow one, which is take. Sounds like theft. Okay. And then the smaller cards, we'll look at real quick. So there are a lot of those as well. And those cards, I wonder what those, let's see if we have a clue to what they are. They are just called standard cards. They have these backings. They are also, some of them are numbered. Well, they're all numbered, but they look like they give you abilities. Some are abilities, some are other things story-wise. So there is so much art, and there's so much variety, and there's so many of these. I mean, that's insane. I'm gonna have to organize all, well, I'm sure they're already organized by number or numerical, but that is really cool. So yeah, there's not a lot to show, at least in the base game, that I can show you. And that's why I just wanted to show you that it comes with, it's a lot of books, it's a lot of cards, it's a lot of just playability, just like I can see right here. So I'm excited myself to check this out more. But real quick, before we end this, clearly I want to also show you so there are no player boards otherwise. You just are supposed to, you get, I think it's a 9x9 grid for which you lay out your character and the cards around them as you obtain them throughout the play. But I did anything that has a player board or some sort of option to keep things organized or kind of cement that, I'm all for. So I did get these, and I think I'll let you know in the end if they fit in the box. They might not, with how much there is, but so we have the different characters by color, and this is printed onto the board, so that's not a card. And then as an example, we'll grab a random card, and they do slot into there nicely, so they don't shake around. Obviously, if you need to get them out, look, they're actually in there pretty good that way too. You really have to do that. But they also have this nice little, there you go, right in there just to get it out. Same thing, top side, fingernail up, pretty good. I don't know if you'd sleeve this game. There's way too many cards to really look into sleeving. And there are, for that, just like the amount of players in the game, there are 6 boards. I think this was like $20 for this. The game itself was around 90 MSRP. I think it was 20 for this. I think it might have been 15 or 20 for the token upgrades, as well as 20 for the money. So we'll go and look at the money. Who doesn't love? I have so much game money for all the different games. I know people out there just buy generic money, but sometimes just the theme of the money alone, like, pulls you into the world of the game. I'm up for, I play D&D and all. Immersive experiences are always preferred. And so these are the 10s. It's got 10s, 2s, 1s, and 5s. I think that's like Scythe. Good quality. They're different. I wonder if, like, in an ideal world, I wonder if they fit together. Probably not, but that's cool too. There's your 5s. The color's cool. The patina on them, like where they look, they got like a little bit of a wash on, at least the blue ones look like. They don't look clean, they look aged. I like that. And the ones are extremely small, if that makes sense. So, I don't know if they fit together. I don't think so. They just look cool. So that's the money. And the final thing is the token upgrade pack. So those cardboard ones that we did not punch out. There are a lot of these, a gel packet as always. So I'll show you just one. We'll look at the take since we rolled that earlier. So, nice. And they are double-sided. Just your standard wooden tokens, but that's cool. Make something, again, that you can handle. I'm gonna see if I can fit all this back in the box, and then we're gonna rejoin in a minute, and we'll see if it goes all in the same box. Thanks. All right, welcome back. Beautiful. Well, good news and bad news. So if you did get, obviously if you didn't get any of the upgraded components, or if you got all of the upgraded components except for the dual layer player boards, everything's gonna fit into the box without little fuss. They did a good job designing the inside for that. Again, it is heavy when you have everything in it, but if you do, now I did some trials on this, and this is what I finally came up with, and it's not the greatest solution. So as you can see right now, I have 4 of the 6 player boards securely in the box, no lid lift, holds tight. But remember the character boards, it's not like you just leave 2 out because you're not going to play with 6 players often. They are, you know, printed character specific. So if you want to play with Ariel the Engineer or Ira the Medic and you're going somewhere, you're going to want to have those boards with this. So I don't know if there's a better solution or if you just live with the lid lift. So the best way I got it in was, so you can see I have them on top, and I had to kind of stagger them because if they were all set to the top, you don't know if you see from the front of the camera, there is significant, if I were to put this on here, even with the staggering method, the lid lift, I mean, it's not horrible. If you're shoving it in a shelf and you're doing it, you're not getting that much. Sometimes I can be a little OCD, so, you know, I tried to make it work the best. But that aside, I had those, then followed by your mission board, followed by just how we opened it. The rule book, the secrets book or the Vantage book, all of the different manuals, they fit right there on top here. All of the cards. So the cards do stay stacked like this with a storage card on top for each to kind of prevent anything being seen. All of your cards, and I don't know if we saw this in the initial opening, but around here shows you where they should go. So those cards are numbered up to, it's like 802, and then 803 all the way up to 1708 are all listed or printed inside the box. Just like we had pulled these out, I put the dice back in there. The only difference is I did put the metal coins into one of these. You could probably put stuff loosely in there maybe, and it would fit even more. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep things bagged up. So I do have all the wooden upgraded components tucked in here. I thought that would be a little better anyway because the cards won't bounce around a lot. Not that there's a ton of room, but with the books on top of it, that'll keep it secure. And then I did not show you these, but these I did have to unbag these and kind of like place them. Like, that was a little bit of a pain, but if you're not playing it too often or with a few people, you're not gonna have to remove them too often. But we'll use it just with one of these cards to show. Literally put that in there, and then it'll just be your stand. So nobody else can see it, and then you can put it on the table. You can see what you're doing, look at it, be weird, and it'll work. But they're cool. These would work for other games too if you want to pop them out of the box so you don't keep them in, but you don't want to forget them if you're actually going to play the game. So again, you had to kind of like figure out how to tuck them in there so it didn't push on the box, but that worked fine. And then going through it again, we will place those over top of that. The books go in. The player boards, I think I then had this, and then I staggered the player boards. Again, not a big deal if you're home where you're gonna play it, but if you're taking it somewhere, you might just have to deal with that little bit of lid lift. They were just a little thinner, not that I want them thinner, or if there was just a little room at the bottom of the box, that would be avoided. But as I said before, these are all gonna go in, if you see my other episodes, these are gonna go in my upgraded components shadow boxes. So all the components that I upgrade, I take all the base components, pop them out, shuffle them up and put them in shadow boxes around my house. So that'll be a nice colorful addition to the wall art that we have. And otherwise, thank you so much for joining me, the unboxing of Vantage. I hope you either are interested in getting this or now satiated in knowing what's in the box. And keep on playing, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.